What are you drinking tonight? Let's keep them flowing. Where do you come from? Where are you going? What are you feeling tonight? And what are you showing? Where do you come from? 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 Where are you going? What are you drinking tonight? Let's keep them flowing.
And we are back. It's 2024, the Super PlayStation Bros. Let's go.
We're back, baby!
Yes, it's Dorgon. Boom, boom, boom. Leveling up the podcast as always. And we got Rudix here. Thank you for everybody on coming on by. Oh my god, this is awesome. We are back with awesome Super PlayStation Bros. We are going to be giving you guys everything PlayStation related, so don't worry about missing anything. And yeah, Dorgon, man, how has your holiday been? Now that you're back, I mean, we've been off for about a month now, but we're back in the chairs. What's been going on? How's PlayStation been? I know you've been in VR. You've been shredding it on the Beat Saber. You're almost at that platinum.
Yeah, I made the dumbass decision. I released a video about Get Fit games, so games to help you with your fitness journey, to keep you moving, motivated, and all that sort of stuff. And one of them was, of course, Beat Saber. It's like the quintessential Get Fit game. And I got re-addicted to it whilst I was in there. And I made the dumbass decision to go for the platinum. What I did not realize is that this is one of the most physically challenging platinum trophies on the planet. You have to play for 24 hours. So this isn't just be in the game for 24 hours. So you can't just leave the game in the menu for 24 hours and get the trophy. You have to be playing in a song for 24 hours. You then have to get a full combo on 15 expert level tracks. I've managed it on 4 so far. And at some point, you have to do a double S rank expert track. I got the double S rank the other day, and I do have the trophy ping of it, which is just me screaming yes at the end of it. Got flawless, baby. It's a very, very tough platinum grind, this one. The hardest part by far is that 24-hour grind. I'm just going to play Freebird, the full 9-minute version of it, over and over and over again, and hope that I get there eventually. Otherwise, this has come through the door, so I've got Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown to be playing later on today. I've been editing 2 new videos. I've got something new coming through the post as well for a new video, completely not PlayStation related, but I'm going to try and shoehorn some PlayStation into that video as well. But yeah, well, it's been a nice time off. It's been relaxing, rejuvenating, but I am so glad to be back, man. Like, what about you? Like, you've tanked about 6 games or something whilst we've been off, haven't you?
Well, I don't know about 6 games, but I had a little bit of I grabbed some stuff on the Black Friday sales, which definitely kept me entertained. Final Fantasy 16 was definitely no small feat, on top of completing Bloodborne. Also, No Man's Sky, which was just an epic adventure. I finished absolutely everything in that, ascended at the end, traveled to universe and planets. But it's been an absolute blast. DualSense Edge has held up this whole time. getting into Ghost of Tsushima, taking advantage of my PS Plus account. And
I'm so glad
say,
you're finally on Ghost.
at this point, because I've cleared out the entire lower level, I have so much equipment. I am a killing machine. Arrow, smoke bomb, grenades, throwing knives. Like, I just walk into a place. I have all the stances now, so no one can, like, mess with me. The way you break the guards.
When you say all the stances, have you got the 5th stance?
What? There's 5 stances. Don't tell me that. Oh my
I'm
goodness.
I'm gonna leave it at that, because when you hit 5th stance, I ripped my throat screaming with joy at it. It was similar to when I got the Blade of Olympus in God of War Ragnarok Valhalla. Ripped my throat with joy. That 5th stance, the game changes forevermore. It's so good. What a moment. What a moment.
Well, I've yet to grab onto that. I'm actually going really methodically, just clearing out everything as I go up. And that way I'm able to take advantage of all the upgrades, all the abilities that I'm given, which just amplifies the game experience. Really enjoying
when
it.
you're
The
ready,
only thing... Yeah, get into Legends. Get into Legends.
When you're ready, call Wibble and I. We will be in Legends with you. I don't know if Gringo in chat has got Ghost of Tsushima. I know he's got the PlayStation 4. I don't know if he picked up Ghost of Tsushima, but we could easily drag him along for a Legends run as well. He's one of the Nerd Migos, a very, very good friend. Just to quickly answer his question, is this harder than any other Platinum you've attempted? Yes, Beat Saber is by far the hardest Platinum I've ever attempted, just from the physical exertion. Everything else has been hard from a gameplay perspective. This is a physically hard challenge. Physically hard Platinum.
Yo, and what's going on? We got Cowboy King of Entertainment, our honorary special guest to the Super PlayStation Bros on our final show of last year. He asked, I seen an IGN video last night and they said Foam Stars will be on PS Plus for a single month. So will it be free if you claim it within the month or drop it off after a month? Wow.
It's going on to PlayStation Plus Essential. It's not going on to Extra or Premium, so it's not one of those that you lose access to when it rotates out. It's the same as any other Essential game that you will be able to claim, and as long as you remain subscribed or resubscribed to PS Plus Essential at some point in the future, you will be able to play Foam Stars at any point.
Yeah, so it's available to anybody at the lowest tier of multiplayer, is what you're saying?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, and that's absolutely the best way to do it, because as soon as you get onto PlayStation and have multiplayer, you have a game available to you. So that is really awesome. I hear it tested extremely well, and people's feedback is better than expected. So this game should garner a lot of support, and we'll see it in the future, how well it does perform, because these games as a live service can often be hit or miss. Sanchez MTZ Gaming. For the longest time, I have been waiting for you to come into my chat because I have something to say to you.
Oh dear. Oh no.
I figured out what MTZ means. I know why it's Sanchez.
Not microtransactions?
MTZ. No, it's a gun, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this clicked for me, but it is a gun in Call of Duty. It is a special OP gun in Call of Duty, and there's all builds based around it. I learned this playing with a couple buddies, some Modern Warfare 3, just getting into Warzone, and they're like, oh, the MTZ build, I'm going to make a whole thing. I'm like, MTZ? That's why Sanchez's name is MTZ. But I figured it out. And let me know in the chat if that is what it is. But,
you're going to have to help me with Sanchez's thing there in chat. Is that greater than? Is he saying Samba de Amigo is greater than Beat Saber, or Samba de Amigo is less than Beat Saber?
The Pac-Man character eats the greater than. So that's how I know, because you're eating what's greater than.
What's better? Right. So he thinks that's greater than. I can't quote to that. I'm not sure if that's on PSVR 2 yet. I have not played it. I can't say anything. I'm just horribly addicted to Beat Saber at the moment and that platinum grind. Do not give me another physical rhythm game platinum grind, Sanchez. I will hate you for eternity.
Well, that's cool. That's cool to see. I've never heard of Samba de Amigo, but I feel like it's got more of a Latin flair, which probably would be a little like more hip-ish. You
It's
know, you're just
yeah,
grinding
it's
with it.
another
Ba
rhythm
ba ba
game,
ba ba
similar.
ba.
It's very similar to like Beat Saber. It's very similar to like Synth Riders and all of those sorts of game brain beats and such as well. It's just you've got maracas essentially, and you have to shake them to the beat, but then you have to strike poses at certain points, and you have to do it all perfectly. And achieve certain things to increase your social media presence. It's basically being a YouTuber the game with dance, as far as I understand it.
Well, that is fun. That is fun.
So yeah, I would be interested in that if it is on PSVR 2. It's probably going to be February before I could even look at playing it though, just financially more than anything else.
Well, thank you, Sanchez, for confirming that I was right in my theory that it is MTZ Gaming. So that's awesome to see. But yeah, if that's all we have, let's break into what we are good at, and that is delivering some awesome news. It's been a while since we've opened up the books and let people know what's going on in the PlayStation world. So let's get into it.
I'm
Oh my
ready.
gosh. Why did I make this
Big
the
Boss
first
is
one?
ready.
Okay. Well, I don't know why I made this the first one, but we're gonna have some fun with it. Let me turn this off. Okay. Did you see this car? Now I know that it's a bit delayed to you, but what I'm explaining is at
Yes,
CES we
CES,
saw the
CES, yes.
PlayStation 5 collaboration with the
With Honda,
Afilia,
yeah.
aka the Honda, the PlayStation car. So we see Miles Morales, we see him, have the Sony core set up. It looks like an awesome concept car, massive screen, which is just unbelievably distracting. How can they put
I
that in a car?
Yeah, I've got issues with this car. I have many issues with this car. One, I actually do like the look of it. It's one of the electric cars that doesn't look like an electric car, if that makes any sense to anybody. It just looks like a car, which I like. But they went with the whole Men in Black 2 thing of driving it with the DualSense controller. That is not going to be safe on any road. It's not even going to be safe on your driveway trying to park it in the garage. You're just going to reverse
No.
too quickly into the back wall, damage the car, the garage, and everything in between. I think that's a very dumb move, personally. I like it as a joke. It's good implementation, but that's all it can be, a joke. And as you say, that massive screen with all of this entertainment upon it, why? I don't want that in my car. I want physical buttons that I can reach from the steering wheel, and I want no distractions from my actual driving. If that screen can if I can lock that down to just do a giant sat nav so I can see all of the roads and all of the shortcuts and ways around, I'm on board. That's great. But otherwise, I mean, it's a concept car. Whether it comes to actual production is another matter, but this is the third year now that they and Honda have shown this off. It's the same shape, it's the same name. So I do think that we might see a version of this on the road in short time. I just hope they change the steering wheel to an actual circle one so that you can actually bloody well drive the thing, not with a Formula One-esque half wheel.
Absolutely. I mean, here's a situation where one, controllers, as SPG is bringing up in chat, have a bad track record in 2023 for controlling vehicles. Two, this is not a situation where you want haptic feedback in your controller. You don't want to feel that boom. Uh-oh.
You get the haptic feedback naturally through a car anyway. I don't think I then need it through the controller / the steering wheel.
You don't want to be driving up a hill and then get stick drift and then veer off to the right. So we're a bit away from driving cars with controllers, but it's cool to see. I'm glad they're having fun with it. That's what they're up to at CES with Sony. But hey,
a big part of it, which I must point out without the joking, is that Sony, Honda, Toyota, I believe Volkswagen, and a couple of others have all been coming together over the last few years to work on a solid state battery. As many of us will know, we use lithium ion batteries in things like our buds, our controllers, our phones, and all that sort of stuff. But if we were to use a solid state, whether that's graphene based or any other sort of conductive material based, we wouldn't then lose capacity in those batteries over time. We'd be able to charge them much quicker at much lower temperatures, and they'd last a lot longer. So this is a big part of what they've been doing with this car, and it will permeate into all areas that use batteries in consumer tech. So fingers crossed that partnership bears the fruit that it's been promising.
Yeah, I hope so. And if you want to go on long drives, you're going to need an upgraded battery for your PS5 controller. Am I right?
You are indeed, yes. Nice segue. Nice segue. I like that one.
They have upgraded the PS5 controller with hugely improved battery support. Unfortunately, we're not getting a DualSense Edge 2, not that we see in this article, fingers crossed, but that being said, we're only coming up to the year anniversary for the controller itself. So this is the standard PS5 controller, which is getting a version 2 with an exceptional 12-hour battery life. Now, people with Xbox controllers are just like, ha ha ha, 12 hours, my controller can last 40 hours. But what you're not understanding, and I think that comparison is unfair, because with the PS5 controller, you have so much more happening under the hood. There is that haptic feedback, that smart response, that's so much more than just a rumble in the sticks. It's responding to what's happening on screen, and that's where your battery's being drained. This life experience that's happening. Your buttons having that extra pushback, all of these things happening drain the battery a lot faster.
It's a consumer cost thing as well.
You trade experience.
You've got the ease of just sticking the AAA batteries in and taking them out in an Xbox controller, which means you're back up and running really, really quickly. But at the same time, you've then got the cost of those AAA batteries. And I don't know if it's the same elsewhere in the world, but here in the UK, just standard alkaline batteries, let alone your lithium ion AA, AAA batteries, they are exponentially more expensive than they were 2 years ago. Like, they are adding a lot onto a gamer's budget annually if you need them, as opposed to just sticking a wall charger into it. So there's trade-offs both ways in convenience, in longevity, but just for us PlayStation gamers, I love the DualSense. I do wish it lasted a little bit longer. This is basically doubling the battery life of it, which means I will personally never have battery fear on a gaming session again, and that is exactly what a gamer wants. They want to game, sit down without thinking about it, and just play, and then maybe once a week plug the controller in to charge it.
Absolutely. I guess I'm spoiled because I only think of the elite versus the elites. I keep forgetting that the standard Xbox controller is batteries. Man, that feels so yeah, that's a massive expense. A massive expense you got to think about. But those rechargeable ones, yeah. But
yeah,
let's move on.
They're elites. They're rechargeable ones, as you say. They're great. I think Wibble just got the gold one. And I hate to say it, I hate to throw praise over to the other side of the fence, but that gold elite controller looks so damn hot, man. Gold. It is so sexy. I will try and get Wibble to post in the Cyborg Central Discord, which there are links in chat if you haven't seen it already to join and chat along with any of us and just post silly memes and such. But I'll try and get him to post a picture of that in there because it is a good looking controller.
Nice. I look forward to it. I am a bit of a skin fiend, though. I always slap skins on my controllers, so all those details would be lost to me. But you know,
I should not have introduced you to D-Brand. That was a bad mistake.
Well, go D-Brand. Hey, if we're looking for sponsors, I'll reach out to them, see what they're up to, get some more plates. Sony brought its new PS5 colors to CES. And at first, I'm like, this is the American flag. And then I'm like, oh, it's also the Union Jack, too, right? Because.
It is the Union flag. It is
Yeah.
it's the Australian flag, the Kiwi flag, the Tongan flag. It's about 70 flags across the globe. Red, white, blue.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong, really.
And if you just crop the blue one out, you get Japan and Canada, which they probably
You do. You also get just England, which is where I am from. You get most of Wales. They need a bit of green for Wales as well, but they've got one of these fellas, so they kind of win a little bit. They got a dragon. But yeah, it's a good all-round set of colors.
What were your thoughts on the finishes? Did you have something specific you wanted to talk about now that we see, the Slim out on the market? It's obviously nice to see. However, myself, I think I'll get more excited when we start seeing the Pro and hearing what the Pro can do.
They're really nice colors, and I like the fact that you get the two-tone on every single console. So you've got like the matte at the bottom, like we're used to on the original PlayStation 5, but then you've got a gloss on the top half of the top two plates. I love that gloss matte finish, like dichotomy. It's beautiful. What I don't like, and I will always have a disc drive version of a console because I believe in owning my games physically because it still allows me to play them even if the servers go offline and such. But god damn, that disc drive looks like a tumor on the side of the console, doesn't it? It just looks terrible. I feel like I should check it into the nearest hospital and get it seen to. It's not pretty.
Listen, PlayStation has a little bump. That's fine. You can remove the bump, but
that's not a bump. That's a mountain.
You just got to go digital. That's what they do. You want to do that?
No.
You go digital.
No. This is a released today game, not going digital. Not to mention, this cost 10 quid less than the digital version. There is no way I'm going digital.
Yeah, that is a huge benefit. And it's crazy the dichotomy of it that physical would cost less. You should be getting discounts for going digital. I just don't understand it. But I do get rewarded on the other end for going digital through the PlayStation Stars program, allowing me to get discounts on future games. So there is a little bit of a kickback, but it's not the same.
Digital. So it goes both ways. I'm maxed out on stars. I can't get any higher. I'm level 4, max level 4. I can't go any higher on that, and I have got 3 games with discounts from stars, or fully free from stars.
Every time you make a purchase on the PlayStation Store, you still get stuff.
Yes,
back.
You do.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for VR, I can only go digital. They don't have physical releases for the VR games, which is a bit of a downside for me. So that's where probably quite a bit of that has come from. But like the size of games that you've bought and such, I'm pretty sure we should be on par, basically maxed out levels and 3 or 4 games in the kitty from just rewards in general.
The Stars program is saying, oh, you need 18 more trophies for the next level or something, but you can only go to level 4, which is kind of confusing. They need to come out with a Stars explanation.
There needs to be a level 5. There needs to be a level 5.
Why stop at 4? Like, why are we not going to 10? I don't get it. Or just keep going.
It was year 1. I get it. Like, give people something attainable for like the top percentiles, and then give everybody else something that they can work through. And then they can always change it later this year. I mean, like, we've not even got to a full 1 year of Stars yet, so let's give it time. They can always add more in.
And what's going on? The Dr. Spaceman's in the house. We got Miss Phoenix, and we got Nerds World. Thank you, everybody, for coming on by, hanging out with the Super PlayStation Bros. We are chilling out, talking PlayStation. And this just in, which is absolutely massive if you're looking forward to the multiplayer games hitting PlayStation. There is a 25% discount over the month of January for everything PlayStation Online, which, hey, let's get more people into Foam Stars. Let's get more people into Helldivers. Let's get more people into the finals, because the finals is a free-to-play it's not an exclusive, but it is a fantastic game if you haven't tried it. Absolutely evolves the first-person shooter experience, in my opinion. So there's a lot of great multiplayer games to get into right now, and this discount is well appreciated. I think this is the smart times to redo your subscriptions here and
Do
Black
have
Friday.
to call you on that one a little bit.
Oh, okay.
You
Yeah, let me know.
can't redo your subscription. So I found this article this morning and I went to top up my subscription because 25% off, that brings it down below what it would have been before the price bump late last year. If you are an existing PlayStation Plus subscriber, you cannot get this deal. It is for new signups only.
Thank
Which
you.
is still
Good
great if
clarification.
you're wanting to sign up, but bit crappy for those who've been there and supporting PlayStation with these subscription services for a long time.
Right, because in other deals you were able to top up, if I'm not mistaken.
You weren't in the December sale. You weren't in the Black Friday sales. That was the first times you weren't able to top up. Every sale prior to that, you were able to top up and stack subscriptions. Yeah. So what I've been doing is there's a company here in the UK called Shop2. They do massively discounted PlayStation credit cards. So you pay like £80 and you get £100 worth of PlayStation Store credit that you just put the code in and it goes onto your account. So that's what I've been doing. I've been buying like those cheaper credits, sticking them on the account and getting the discount that way. There's always ways around it. Places like CD Keys do similar worldwide. You've got ways of getting cheaper PlayStation Plus subscriptions, but if you are just a brand new subscriber, you could just go direct, make it really easy on yourself and sign up to PlayStation Plus for a year at a 25% discount right now.
Well, there you go. Thanks for enlightening us. New players getting into the online experience, maybe picking up that PlayStation in December and haven't jumped into multiplayer yet. Here's your time. Get into it, and we got a free game coming just around the corner.
Miss Phoenix says, PlayStation has been taking my money since 2010. Only 2010? I think it was 95 they started robbing me.
Uh-oh.
Gringo
Sony.
knows Shop2. Gringo's right there. He understands it. And Dr. Spaceman has been buying on Black Friday at a discount every year as well. So yeah, there's ways to get
That's my
cheaper
timing.
subscriptions. Yeah.
My
Unfortunately,
timing,
mine's around the
luckily,
British Grand Prix
stinks.
because that's when my bonus used to be. So around the British
Oh
Grand
my
Prix is
gosh.
when that's when my subscription's up. But I don't get that bonus anymore, so it's a bit less helpful than it used to be.
All right. Well, we have Smite 2 coming to PlayStation 5. Now, I know this is a massive MOBA, Unreal 5 powered, and there is a huge following to this IP.
Yeah, massive.
I mean, I'm not a MOBA player myself, so I don't have that experience, but I know there are massive populations behind it.
I played quite a bit of it with one of the Nerd Migos, Crash Echo, because he loves his MOBAs and he loves his mythology, and Smite is all about mythological characters. So you get to play as people like Zeus and Thor and the Hecatoncheires and all that sort of stuff. It's very Greek and Norse mythology. It's wonderful in the character designs and stuff. So as long as this evolves the gameplay, the problem that Smite has faced for many years is the free-to-play options, very limited as a free-to-play option you imagine would be, but still fun for a little bit through the course of, say, a season, however long that may be. But then you've got to grind and you've got to grind, and the gameplay is samey, and you've got your meta characters who just absolutely wipe the floor. If you come up against them, there's no hard counters and all this sort of stuff. So fingers crossed it's differently balanced. Fingers crossed especially for a console game as well, they're putting this out on PlayStation. I imagine it's probably going to like Xbox and stuff as well, but it needs to be a bit quicker. MOBAs are always very slow. Look at Pokemon Unite on the Switch. That is a very, very slow game, and it's a teeny tiny map. It shouldn't be as slow as it is, but that's just the way MOBAs are. I would wish, especially with it being a more third-person camera angle in Smite as well, rather than the slightly top-down one, that it's a quicker-paced game that would allow it to go out to a much bigger audience, I feel.
Well, hey, more games the better. We'll cater to that audience, and this action combat MOBA is coming to PlayStation. The alpha starts soon, and in a couple months they're saying you can get it on the PS5. So I don't see an exact release date, but hey, it's something to look forward to if you're in the MOBA camp.
Definitely.
This I just remembered during our last conversation, and I wanted to pull it up. I don't know if you saw this at CES, but I need one for my house and my life. Okay. How cool were these freaking racing pods? Okay.
Mate,
Yeah, Hannah,
those
it's
GT
not
pods
crazy.
are amazing. I
Oh,
saw them. Like, I know they're
yeah.
from the Gran Turismo movie, and they were based on the actual pods that people who went through the Gran Turismo Academy were put into when they were in their like finals and so.
Yeah. Uh-oh. We had a Doragon Freeze event. We're gonna wait for him to come back. All right.
I can hear you.
And
Can you hear me?
yep, we got you back. We got you back. So you left off when you were saying these are the pods that they had in the movie for the Academy.
So they had them in real life for the actual Academy, which led to people, which is what the movie's based upon, where people raced in Gran Turismo to then go and race in real life. They went to the German Touring Car Championship, DTM, and they were racing there as professionals. I really want one of these. I cannot imagine the cost of it. These are as top of the line force feedback racing sim rigs as you can get. I would hazard a guess that these are like 50, 60 grand each. So I can't buy one myself, but if anybody wants to gift me one, I will not say no. I will lose my desk here and I will just have a pod for racing in instead.
And I will do nothing but race in that pod. Oh my god. How cool is that? Okay, first of all, over the holidays, I saw the Gran Turismo movie on Sony Core, and it was just absolutely like hand applauding, crying, laughing, cheering, like all the emotions, because that's how Sony does movies. They put you through an exciting experience that you just watch from start to end, and I just couldn't help but cheering for, you know, the main character and his true story and his journey. Oh man, it was epic. And you're watching the after credits. The racer has 200 racers under his belt. Just an epic story of Sim Driver gone to real life.
And don't forget, Gran Turismo sponsors the Mercedes Formula One team, which means the most successful Formula One driver of all time, Lewis Hamilton, is sponsored by Gran Turismo.
Wow. Well, that is what I wanted to bring up because I need this pod in my life. That would be so damn cool.
Give me the pod. Give me the pod.
Hannah asked, how much is it?
A lot, like your mortgage plus some.
It's maybe more than the car we drive. I don't know how much it costs, Hannah. If it's more than the car we drive, I'm not getting it, apparently.
I'm sure you could make that into like one of those Tron wheel things. You'd be fine.
I just need the do-it-yourself guy. I just watched one of his tutorials. I could probably make a pod myself.
You probably could for half the price, so only 25k.
Yeah. Still more than my car. Sandland launches April 26th. This is the game that was shown off on the latest showcase, if I'm right. The creators of the Dragon Ball game, highly animated, and we have a release date for it, which I should know, but we will watch through the trailer. I mean, it's an exciting experience. It looks heavy more on the anime, but Bandai Namco does deliver great experiences. I mean,
You've got Bandai Namco there. You've got Akira Toriyama, who is the mastermind, the actual original author of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball GT and Dragon Ball whatever we've got now. He knows how to write a great comic. He knows how to write a great manga, great story, great arcs. So if he and Bandai are coming together and making this, and it does look like it's all of the, or at least it's got some of the Dragon Ball characters in, because that's Android 18 who's popping up there. I think this is going to be a very interesting. It looks like it. Yeah, it looks like it's in the same universe, or it's just using the same character models. Like we've seen people like Hiro Mashima, who does Fairy Tail, do that with Rave Tail, Fairy Tail, and Eden Zero. They just use the same character models again and again because that's how they draw, how they create art, and that sort of thing. But this looks quite different to what we've had from Dragon Ball games in the past. It looks more like an open world brawler, which they are sort of missing a little bit, open world brawlers. So fingers crossed this turns out good. Personally, for me, it's not really hitting many marks. I'm not a Dragon Ball fan. I know I'm weird, but I came to it in my late 20s and it was very predictable by that point. I know when it was coming out, it was groundbreaking, but I wasn't there first time round. I didn't have Cartoon Network or anything growing up. So yeah, it's looks really interesting, and there's a lot of people who are going to be very happy with this one.
And oh, here we have it, April 26th, 2024. So this is another one coming to PlayStation. Be sure to check it out. Obviously, there is a lot put into the story, the lore building. Hey, and I was a fan of Dragon Ball Z growing up. All I wanted to do was work out enough so I could become a Super Saiyan. Still,
and then
thank
I gave
you, by
you
the
a video
way.
with a workout.
Yes,
yeah.
thank you, by the way, for sharing the workout. What was that website called? I downloaded the PDF.
It's called Derby. So those who
Derby.
haven't watched my Get Fit Gaming video, there is a website out there called Derby who does all sorts of nerdy fitness regimes. So there is a Super Saiyan one if you like Dragon Ball. There's an Assassin's Creed one. There's a Kratos one if you want to look like the God of War. But they also do fitness RPGs. So you become the main character of this RPG and you defeat bosses and advance your story by completing body weight exercises. You need no equipment, you need no special gym or anything, it can all be done at home. You might just need to go to your local park or something for a goalpost to do pull-ups on, or what have you, and you get fit that way. Rudig's watched the video, saw a Super Saiyan workout, and immediately went and started doing it.
Yeah. So I'm waiting for the hair to go up in yellow when I go and yell.
You might need to get some chicken wire.
Oh, man. But yeah, check it out. Doragon's link is in the description below. Check out the Get Fit with Gaming. That ring game, you know, I was on the fence about buying that a while back. It does look pretty cool still to date. But I will get in.
They're all good games, all good additional fitness things, and
yeah,
only one of them is incredibly expensive because you need the headset as well. But hey, you've already got a VR. Like, it's just get Beat Saber, you're fine.
Yeah, I just need space so I don't hit everything around me. Helldivers 2 PC specifications and crossplay support details revealed. So this was a massive announcement when I heard it. Crossplay for PC and PS5. The game is launching on February 8th, which is super exciting. I saw the new trailer come through today. Oh, I better do this right because last time it locked me out of PlayStation for like a year. There we go.
Touch exaggeration there.
No, for like a couple months, it was like, oh, you're not old enough to view videos. And I'm like, oh, damn it. Okay, I'll put in an old enough age then. So this game obviously is looking to be a lot of fun. Hilarious. We have Arrowhead Studios, which has been contracted by PlayStation 5 for a PlayStation 5 IP that they are funding to be produced. So it's not in-house PlayStation first-party game, but it is incredibly overseen. They've funded it. It's their IP. They've trusted Arrowhead, and I think it looks absolutely ridiculously fun. I love the crossplay element, so we're gonna have population, and I look forward to it. Do you have any insights? Are you looking forward to it? Do you have experiences with Helldivers 1? What do you think,
I have played Helldivers 1. I enjoyed Helldivers 1. It's the right sort of ridiculousness with good gameplay attached to it. It's just a fun game. It doesn't need to be groundbreaking or the greatest thing ever made, a purely perfect game or anything like that. We need more in all sorts of entertainment. We need more of these popcorn movie type ones that you just sit down, enjoy, and you enjoy it for what it is. That is Helldivers. You enjoy it for what it is. Helldivers 2 seems to be a little bit more serious, but the fact that friendly fire is on from the word go, you know serious is out of the window immediately. Every team is going to be shooting their friend in the arse and just watching them fall over and then pointing and laughing, because that's what we do to our friends. I don't know if I'll be picking this up on day one. It's one of those games where I enjoyed the first one. I didn't think it was a full price game for me personally, but there's going to be a lot of people that this speaks to on so many different levels. And the moment you start seeing funny and silly videos coming out across YouTube and Twitch with it, loads more people are going to want to jump on the bandwagon. And with the crossplay, like you said, population, very important for multiplayer co-op titles.
Right. And it's just it's not too taxing on your system either. We see the minimum specs coming in on a 1000 series graphics card. So that is a real nice entry point. You don't even need an SSD to run the game, which again, it's just easy accessibility to get into it and get a whole population. Of course, on the other spectrum, that 4K 60 FPS is going to demand a 4070 operating at, maximum capacity, but it's awesome to see.
Hey, if you're called SPG or Wibble Sniff, that's not even going to phase you with those 4090 monsters that they've got. So yeah, just go watch those guys if they get Helldivers to see what it can possibly look like and how many stupid, amazing frames it can run at.
I'm sure it'll look beautiful. I don't see the PS5 specs here, but I'm sure we'll get that.
That might be to do with there's only one spec. It's called the PlayStation 5.
But are we gonna get this sort of performance mode? I'd suspect we'd get something along the lines of here.
I would expect so, yeah.
Experience at 60 FPS. But yeah, that's probably what you'll be looking at for PlayStation 5. And by the way, there's an ongoing contest running until the all the way until the release. Feel free to enter in. We're going to be doing it on all the Rudigs and Cloud&Console streams. Because I am super pumped for this game. It's going to be day one for me. And I love that it's not full price. They come in at a low price point, and it's really a good strategy to bring more people in.
Yeah, as Gringo's saying in chat as well, the fact that this thing can run on a 1050 Ti could mean it runs on the deck. Should definitely run on things like the ROG Ally. So you're opening up an even greater player base there. Wow, we might be playing with Gringo. We might be playing with Gringo Gren on a PlayStation game. Bring it on, bro.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. That's great point to have, that entry point into even the mobile gaming space through the Steam Deck, which is obviously caught on with a huge population. So people on the portal are going to be playing with people on the Steam Deck. And then we're all going to be getting along.
No, they don't have the lag that I do. Stop the portal off.
Hey, you know what? I don't know about that PlayStation Portal, but I do know that PlayStation 5 tablet looks amazing. I want them to start bringing that one out.
It's completely unofficial, homemade. You can make one yourself if you're so fancy.
We have Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League coming up in the PlayStation blog, giving a sort of hands off with co op and Flash. So I did get access to this game. I'm actually not sure how much I'm allowed to say, but hey, it
So the
was
NDA has been lifted. We can't show any gameplay. So you
right.
could not record any gameplay during the play session. You couldn't speak about it until the embargo got lifted. The NDA got lifted last Friday because the media event that they did was such a catastrophic failure that only bad
No.
news was coming out of it, and that was not how the majority of the player base were feeling from that closed beta. So the NDA has been lifted. You can speak about it fully now and give your impressions. You just can't show anything.
Right. So I felt the game was highly pushing me to do combat in the air. It was full of aerial combat for characters who couldn't fly. And so I was a little confused about that. I think it would be a great sort of Gotham Marvel Avengers experience, jumping in with your friends, enjoying that superhero world. However, your characters don't have superpowers, right? You're kind of like the campsite B of characters, and you're fighting the people who you kind of want to be. So there is that kind of dichotomy, that sort of unequalization. But if you like being a gunner, then you're kind of shoehorned into Deadshot. If you like being more melee based, then you can be Finn or the Harley Quinn. And then that Boomerang guy,
Captain
you got to be
Boomerang.
like that next level Fortnite player, because I could not control that boomerang and then you teleport to the location of the boomerang. They kind of got that mechanic going on.
Your
Uh,
problem there, mate, is your accent work. So what you need
yeah,
to do
my
is work
accent
on all of
work.
your accents and get your Australian down a little bit. And then once you've got that, you'll find that your boomerang game is up to no end.
The boomerang. Boomerang.
Gringo, thank you so much for the subscription, man. Means the absolute world. Thank you so much for that,
Oh,
bud.
cheers, dude. Appreciate that. And if you want to be entered in, feel free to put exclamation mark PlayStation in the chat. Dorgon, do you have any impressions of the game that you'd like to share other than me sullying it a little bit, but saying it would be fun? You know, games are fun, having those experiences with friends. I think there is a lot of fast moving mechanics that would
Yeah.
provide exciting
I
times.
I think there is a large market for this game. I think it is getting a bit of a bad rap because we've had things like Anthem, because we've had things like Marvel's Avengers, because we've had things like Redfall, where single player studios get shoehorned into doing live service games. And that's what we've got here with Rocksteady being shoehorned into a live service game. But I got in right at the end of that test. I didn't get the full 3 days on it. I got like 2 hours or something. It felt like a Rocksteady story, and Rocksteady Studios tell phenomenal stories. Look at the Arkham trilogy. Absolutely spectacular storytelling. Absolutely love that. And I think that this game will have a lot of legs as a 4-player co-op story-based game. Not maybe so much as live service, but for a 15 to 20-hour run through the story with friends, I think there's a lot of legs for something like that. And there will be a price point that this game will be at some point in its lifespan where it will be worth it for pretty much every gamer. It might not be that $70 that it's going to be at launch, though.
Well said. That's why the bargain bin is a great place to find some quality games.
Indeed.
Not to mention, at the point they get to the bargain bin, most likely they've been updated to the point where a lot of the bugs have been fleshed out, and it's an even better experience than the launch version. So that's been my impression, especially with Forspoken.
Yes, yeah. Like, the bargain bin can work in your favor. It can also work against you. Like, I don't think Redfall's ever going to be a good game. Well, it doesn't matter which bargain bin you pick it out of, sort of thing. But like you say, Forspoken, it was a catastrophic mess at launch. You and I and Miss Phoenix in chat have all picked it up at bargain bin prices. £20 for myself, about $5 for yourself, £10 for Miss Phoenix. And for those prices, it's an absolute banger. It's a great game for those prices. But if you were paying more for that, would you be accepting of it? And would we still say it's such a good game if it was still in that terrible, buggy, horrible mess it was at launch at those prices? So yeah, there's always, like you say, when it comes to the bargain bin, when it comes to getting things after the fact, there can be a lot of positives, can be a lot of negatives. As with any purchase, you just got to weigh it up for yourself.
Absolutely. We have some excellent experiences coming through on the catalog for January. It it was a really good month. There is games that I downloaded right away that I want to get into. Resident Evil 2 was massive on release. Tiny Tina's Wonderland is still a very big game, bringing in a lot of people. And I downloaded actually Skate Sim because I've been having this itch to play some skateboarding games. I think these are all three big, really good games. Not to mention, who doesn't love Lego? And Just
It's Lego,
Cause
man. It's
3.
Lego.
But
Mine was the one that
what
really
was
got me was
yours?
they threw the Phantom Menace on there, the PS1 game,
Yeah,
and
I
I
saw
have
that.
such fond memories of that game playing with my little brother. It was the two of us around the PlayStation, swapping the controller whenever one or other died. Neither of us were good at gaming back then, I must say. When that game came out, he was 8, so that made me 10. So, we weren't great. But I have such fond memories of that game, and I've downloaded it, and I'm kind of scared to boot it up because I don't want to sully those memories. Does that make sense? But then saying that with the other like
Oh my
PlayStation Classics
goodness.
games that I've downloaded recently, those memories haven't been sullied. Ridge Racer Type 4 was an absolutely banging title. Absolutely love that game, and it holds up playing on the PlayStation 5. Toy Story 2, one of the hardest platforming titles out there, still holds up on the PlayStation 5. Same with Toy Story 3 and so on and so forth. But yeah, I'm dubious about starting it because I don't want to sully those beautiful memories, but at the same time, I really want to recapture that moment. I might just have to invite my brother around one evening. It's like, right, we're playing Phantom Menace. Sit down.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I can't believe this is what games used to look like. Like, oh,
Looks fantastic.
that,
What you on about? That's obviously Ewan McGregor and Liam Neeson.
yeah. They just come through the screen. Oh my
They're right
goodness.
there in your living room.
That's cool
But
to
yeah,
see. I like how they bring back these oldies. Sometimes I go through them and I'm like, oh, I'll check it out. Bring back. I played Twisted Metal for longer than I'd like to admit because it was just nostalgia.
Hey, that game again, it still holds up. A lot of these classic titles are still good. There's always going to be that one
Yeah.
or two that you return to that isn't, but many of them, especially many of the ones coming to that classics catalog, Killzone Liberation a few months back, for example, totally hold up. Totally hold up.
And what I'm excited for, and has become my new hobby I want to see if Sessions Skate Sim has a photo mode because I think that would be cool to do.
I think it might. I hate to tell you this, I
Yeah,
think it might. You might be
yeah.
screwed on that one. I want to get that. I want to get that downloaded, and then I also want to want to buy Skate VR and see how they compare.
Ooh,
I'm gonna get very sick in Skate VR.
yeah.
I just know I'm gonna get very sick, but it sounds like it's gonna be so worth it.
Now here is a game coming up on the PS5 exclusive radar. We do not have a release date for it. However, it does look beyond epic. I got Turok vibes. I believe you were calling it Dino Crisis.
Dino Crisis, baby. Yeah.
We got an
Both games
announcement
fill a
trailer,
niche.
and I mean, it feels like Doom, fast-paced action moving. You're ripping open dinosaurs' mouths, blowing it up. You were saying this is coming from the same developers as Quantum Era, the
Yeah, so
firefighting game.
that amazing firefighting game that used the DualSense more than any other game in the history of the PlayStation 5, where you had to do CPR by blowing on the microphone of the controller and such. That game has essentially gone. It's passed most of us by because it came out in a year where everything was fan-bloody-tastic. But now they're bringing us what appears to be the spiritual successor to, as you say, Turok, and as I say, Dino Crisis. There were two types of player back in the PlayStation 1 era. You played Turok or you played Dino Crisis. This is the spiritual successor to both, and oh my days does it look good. And just to address chat, Obi, play MGS4 again. Trust me.
Obi, what's up? Thanks for coming on by, man. Hope you're doing well. Oh my gosh. Look at the scale of this. He just ripped off the horn of a Triceratops and stabbed the Triceratops with that said horn. Like, that
I mean, isn't that some Kratos stuff right there? Like,
yeah,
first person
it feels
Kratos.
like Kratos.
But
it
yeah,
really brings
it's got that
the
playing.
hype up.
My biggest problem with that is I have loved dinosaurs as long as I can remember, and even in Dino Crisis, I struggled to shoot them. I am really going to struggle to shoot them when they are looking photorealistic. I am just going to willingly get eaten or skewered or attacked with an armored club tail or whatever the case may be.
I hear that, man. That's why I'm not a big fan of like hunting animals. Like in Red Dead Redemption, when you just got to go out there and hunt the animals, I'm like, oh, I don't know. Feels kind of bad doing that.
It's such a terrible thing because you think, and we do all think this. It's just when you put it into like out there vocal words, it sounds terrible. It's like, why do I have to hunt the animals? Can't I do this to the terrible humans instead? And then you're like, hang on, wait a sec, wait, words.
Well,
yeah, I get it. I totally get it.
We were talking about this earlier today. We will just reiterate. In early February, we're getting a day one PS Plus game. Thanks, Cowboy, for asking that. But it's coming on to Essentials, which will stay with PlayStation for anybody who's able to claim it.
So same as any essential game. So this is what.
Yeah.
For some reason, Cowboy couldn't figure out earlier. Any game that comes onto PlayStation Plus Essential is on Essential for that month. So for the month of February, Foam Stars will be a day one release on PlayStation Plus Essential. You need to claim it from PS Plus Essential during the month of February to be able to keep and play it beyond that point. So it is only available for redemption from Plus for a month, the same as any other Essentials title. Like Plague Tale Requiem that we've got for January, if you don't claim that by the refresh in Feb, you will not be able to play that moving forward. But if you just claim it, add it to your library, you can play it whenever you fancy moving forward. February is a short month, though. It's the shortest month on the calendar, even this year where we've got a leap year and a friend of mine turns 10. No, not 10, 8. Yeah, he turns 8 this year. So on a leap year, you've got 29 days in February. So it's still really short comparatively to every other month. So claim that game quickly if you want to be able to play it from Plus moving forward. Of course, you can always buy it after the fact if it's a really good game and there's plenty of community out there for it.
So don't get a PlayStation in March because you'll miss this game. Keep your eyes open. This is something you want to claim. I wonder what the price point will be afterwards. This is a deal that I've not seen before, so it's a new model for a game coming out to be...
I've seen it before. It was before your time with PlayStation 5, and they did it for another first-party game called Destruction All-Stars. It was a similar type of idea, just an online party type game. You were driving cars, similar to, say, Wreckfest, but you could get out of the car with a weapon and blow up cars, then get back into your car. And it was fast-paced, it was insane, and they added that to PS Plus Essential Day 1, February 2021, so 2 months in to the PlayStation 5 lifespan. They did that one, and they've done it with a couple of others over time. I can't quite remember the names of those ones, but Destruction All-Stars is the one that's closest to this one, which should also give us an idea of price after the fact, because that now sells for £17.99. So around the £18 to $18 mark once it's gone off Plus.
Okay, well, not crazy, but I hope that people are able to grab it this month. It becomes one of the biggest claimed games. It's definitely worth grabbing and picking up. I had fun with it, which is not big for me in PvP situations. I'd love to jump in with I think friends is always better in this game because you're laughing, strategizing, just getting foamy in Bath Vegas. But
There
what
are
are we
certain
going
sound bites. There are certain sound bites.
getting bath getting foamy in Bath Vegas? Cali Drew Vows, I got your entry in, good sir. Let's check out what is coming to PlayStation this year. They released this YouTube video, saying what do you have to look forward to
Nah,
this
you were
year on
right first time. What do you have
PlayStation?
forward to look to?
And there are some great titles on here. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth obviously is going to be, I think, one of the biggest titles of this year. We have Tekken 8, which has obviously massive, huge following.
Eddie is
Stellar
back.
Blade.
Eddie's back in a Tekken 8. Yes.
People are a little worried about Rise of the Ronin, but I think Ninja Theory is going to be able, not Ninja Theory, Team Ninja, right? Team Ninja.
I've got Team Ninja. I've got no worries about Rise of the Ronin. It's a Team Ninja game.
I loved
Team Ninja doing a game that Team Ninja make. I don't see that failing. It's not like Rocksteady doing a live service game. I don't see any issues here.
And what I see the difference between Ghost of Tsushima, which a lot of comparisons have been made. I mean, you can see he's got a gliding system, and I feel like this game is more based in a magic world. You can see his sword sort of be inflamed, imbued with fire, and Ghost of Tsushima is very not magic, right? It's based on this real stuff, and there's no spirit element to the game.
Yeah, Ghost's main story is very real world, what actually happened during the Mongol invasion of Tsushima. Whereas Legends is very mythology, Oni, all that based. Whereas Rise of the Ronin, for its main story, seems to be based in that mythology with the Oni, with the magics, with all of these creatures and what have you. So yeah, it's a very different type of title. It's also based from Team Ninja within that Soulsborne type difficulty sphere, which I think is going to disappoint a lot of people. But I played Ghost on lethal mode, so one shot you're dead. What do I care about difficulty? They're very different games. I think the bigger problem that Ghost of Tsushima is going to pose for a game coming this year is Assassin's Creed Red, because Ghost of Tsushima has already done what Assassin's Creed Red is trying to do, but better. So that's where the big problem that Ghost is going to cause for another game is. It's not going to be a problem for Rise of the Ronin.
And that is the one contender, right? But Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed, I feel like they've built up that audience over time. Those people who are just
Those people who don't want gameplay, yeah.
And to build up more hype, we got released, I believe in the past 24 hours, a brand new trailer. So you can head over onto PlayStation's YouTube. This is such and I can't play the volume for it for obvious reasons because of the music they play. But it's funny, right? It's showing this light side of humanity fighting the world or saving the world from this invasion, but they got this rock undertone of just get out there, have fun with your buddies, and don't worry about getting exploded. Like it's building a great vibe.
It looks so fantastic, yeah. Like this year is stacked. The fact we've got Metal Gear Solid, Delta, Snake Eater remake coming out, the fact we've got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the fact we've got Stellar Blade finally. Stellar Blade is making an arrival. I really want to get a demo of that because I like everything that I've seen, but I don't know if I will like the gameplay and the story. So I really want to get a demo of that game. That would really help. I feel more demos need to come out, guys. I bought this because the demo was awesome. So, give me demos. I bought Final Fantasy 16 because the demo was awesome. Demos drive sales. Give us demos, developers, please. Went
Absolutely.
slightly maniacal there. Sorry.
So the pump up is for Helldivers 2. Now I have a little bit of a prediction. 2 games we'll see this year that were not on the list, so my fingers are crossed.
Okay.
Maybe it'll plug up. It'll be too heavy of a year for Samurais, and we'll see this next year. But come on, Phantom Blade Zero. We could see it this year, perhaps.
Could see it this year. Could do.
And
What was your other prediction?
Lost Souls aside, the game that we had coming out of the what was that program called? The Chinese
Chinese Sony backed program. Yeah, I can't remember what it was
Yeah.
called, but it was like a grassroots grown would make a game sort of thing. Yeah, I
Right.
know the one you're on about. Yeah.
And I believe we were supposed to see more of this game last year, but they held it back for a bit. So I could really see something coming out this year. I hope.
See you, Dr. Spaceman. Thanks for tuning in, mate.
Take care, dude. All the best. Thanks for tuning in. I love the epic skill of the bosses in this game. I love the art style. I think the traversal looks extremely fun. There's a lot to like about what's happening in this game. I love seeing evolution in play styles, and I think this hits the nail where you're evolving these kind of boss battles over the third person shoulder.
Yeah, that's they're good predictions. I don't know if we'll see them this year. I would hope we do, because we do need quite a few more games. I'm going to be a little bit more conservative on my 2024 predictions. I think we will finally get a big Sony showcase in the middle of the year, June, July time, and we will get some of the big guns coming out to play. We will get a new game announcement from Naughty Dog, from Sucker Punch, which is most likely going to be Ghost of Tsushima 2. We will finally see a trailer for Wolverine at that event. We'll probably hear from 1 or 2 other studios, maybe the live service games, maybe a couple of other single players, but we'll start to hear more from Sony this year and from the internal studios, I think. And my second prediction. Oh, what would that second prediction be? I'm going to have to get back to you on it, because the year's looking a bit sparse after March. We've got all of these releases from January through March, and then it just sort of goes, oh, there's nothing for the rest of the year. So I'll come back to you in March with an update of what my second prediction for the year might be. But big showcase, June, July, big guns coming out to play for PlayStation. That's my big prediction for 24.
I also think one more thing we're going to see, and only because, unfortunately, Insomniac was hacked, but do you think, and we will get DLC by the end of the year, perhaps on the year anniversary for Spider-Man 2?
I am almost convinced we are getting DLC, because we got DLC for the first game and it was excellent. I think it will be structured differently than the first game, having seen the success of God of War Ragnarok Valhalla and what we are getting this week with The Last of Us Part 2 No Return. I think we are going to see a singular big drop, because I've been into the out of bounds space that is the rest of the city you can get to. It's huge.
Yeah, you showed me that.
There's a lot going on out there. I think we're going to get a big DLC drop for Spider-Man 2 before the year's out, yeah. And then Wolverine not too far behind that. Early to mid next year, maybe.
Not to mention, if you are looking forward to New Game Plus, we should be getting that in February from Insomniac, which was their last communication. Cowboy asked if I checked out the link. Yes, we did go over what is happening there with Foam Stars, so it'll be available for the month of February for PS Essential and up to be downloaded. Therefore, after, in the months of March, it'll go on for sale for a certain price. But you have your entire month to claim and add to your library in perpetuity.
Same as any other Essential game, same as any of the 3 that were up there this month, last month, the month before. It's just a PS Plus Essential inclusion. That's all it is, Cowboy. So yeah, got to claim it in February.
Well, that wraps up all the news I had for us in our first show of 2024.
We're back, baby! And what a great show. What a wonderful chat. Look at that popping off. 14 people watching, chatting away, having a great time. Thank you all for tuning back in. After what, 3 or 4 weeks away?
Absolutely.
You're all wonderful.
It's been a while since we've been here. I get a little bit nervous coming onto the scene because I'm like, oh, will they come back? And you guys did. So absolutely appreciate that. Means the world to us. And we'll be back. Keep bringing that awesome PlayStation news for the years to come. This podcast is going global. We're going to the top. 100 more episodes. 100 more episodes. Super PlayStation Bros 100episodes.com. Just make sure to stay tuned.
Let me go sort the pension out so that we can make this happen. Yeah.
And this is what I was talking about here. I forgot I put this link in the show notes. Oh, the PlayStation tablet looks so nice. Oh, that would be so sweet to have.
We're going to get a video of Rudig's halfway through this week with his PS5 in pieces trying to make one of these.
I tried! Dorgon, help me with his copper tubes. I don't know how liquid metal works.
That I'll have to pass you on to my partner, mate. She's the engineer. I am no help to you.
What's going on? Yeah, Dorgon is a huge PSVR 2 content creator, pumping out awesome content. You can check out his link in the description below. What's up, Damex? Thanks for coming.
I'd say Damex, yeah. Maybe say it a bit quicker, not so slow, but yeah.
Damex. I like to drop those syllables. Dorgon, what do you got going on? What can people find on your channel?
So I've got my Get Fit Games video up there. So if you're looking to get fit either in the new year or any time of year and you really don't like the idea of a gym, there are many ways to get fit through video games, including things like PSVR 2, Damex, so that is included in there. But things like your mobile phone can help you get fit as well with things like Just Dance Now. So go check that out for 5 options, and there's plenty more available out there. I am currently working on a video in a new series looking at things after the fact at bargain bin prices. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. And on Friday, I'm getting a device through the door for review from the manufacturer. So a little bit interesting, this one. It's a little out of left field what they're asking for. So I'm really excited to get down to filming that one. And again, keep your eyes peeled as to when that video goes live. Sub, bell, all that good stuff on myself and here on Cloud&Console for all of the great shows coming up, because we've got a new one at the end of the week, don't we, Rudix?
Yep, there is a lot happening under the Cloud&Console umbrella. We have the Download, which is going to be a new panel show podcast talking all about gaming and what's been happening during that week in gaming. It's going to be happening in Cyborg City Discord, open to content creators to really jump in, share their opinions. We're going to be going over topics that happened in that week. It's going to be awesome times. Look forward to it here on Cloud&Console, Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern. Make sure to hit that bell so you don't miss it. It's going to be epic. As well as tomorrow, we are going to be covering the Xbox Developers Direct. We're going to be seeing everything that's happening there and talking about it on an open panel as well. And don't forget about Family Game Night, because I'm also a game streamer as well, and we're going to be getting together with all the family and having a great time over on the Rudig's channel. You can check that link in the description below. We have a blast playing Fortnite and just hanging out as siblings. But other than that, it has been an absolute blast getting back into the chair with you and talking PlayStation again. I will say, last shout out, put in !PlayStation into the chat. You got about 2 minutes here, well, a minute here, and then I'm going to
Helldivers. Win Helldivers 2.
Helldivers
that is what the
2
prize is, right?
Yeah, I keep spamming it in the chat. You can get entered into your chance to win Helldivers 2. We'll be doing a live draw February 7th before the game is released, and it'll be the prize is money for you to get it either on PC or PlayStation, your platform of choice. The main thing is we just want more people playing Helldivers together. But there it is. We got Ray in, we got Cowboy in. Let's go. Let's draw the name. Who is today's winner? Thanks.
Who's going into the final?
Making this day epic to bring back, and we have Vet. Congratulations, you are today's winner. So we will be adding you to the winner's circle. Thank you for always coming out and supporting the show, Vet. We do appreciate it. Oh man, until next week, we are the Super PlayStation Bros.
That we are. It's been good being back.
Yes, it is. Be kind and bring peace into the world. See you next time.
Take care, guys. Bye.
To believe in me. What try do I even need to? I die with the season leaves. I glide with the season breeze. True, my mind so easily spooked. I ride just to